All right, so we've got two equations here that we need to go through and kind of evaluate, find all these different pieces of information. So we'll break this up into two different videos, but here's the first part. We're given the equation that x minus 2 squared divided by 36 minus y plus 1 squared, that quantity, divided by 25 is equal to 1. So we've got a hyperbola here. We know that pretty quickly because of that minus. Um, when there's a plus, it's an ellipse. If it's minus, then it's a hyperbola. And so let's go ahead and evaluate here. So our center, that HK, is going to be at 2 comma negative 1. 2 comma negative 1. So we've finally got one that's not right at the origin. So 2 comma negative 1. All right, let me use red. We've been using red for just the pieces that aren't actually the hyperbola so far, so let me stick with that. 2, negative 1 is our center. Now our foci, let's find the vertices first here. Our vertices, it's going to be opening to the left and right because this is x is our positive fraction here, so it's opening to the left and right, and it's going to be, our vertex is going to be 6 to the right of that point, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right on the edge of the graph, and 6 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our vertices are at that center x value plus 6, so that's going to be, I think that's 8. 8 comma, what's the y value? Negative 1. And then the other one's at 2, again, is our center, so 2 minus 6, negative 4, comma, negative 1. There's our vertices. Now, from the center, these are our would-be vertices are going to be up and down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me go ahead and sketch our box in. And said this a few times throughout the videos, but just want to remind you once again, this is not our hyperbola. This is just some information that we're using to graph the hyperbola. But none of this box is, well, I guess the vertices, the vertices are part of our hyperbola. But the rest of this is all just information we're using to kind of help ourselves out. Sketching the asymptotes as well. Get those sketched in here. All right, and kind of while we're at it, let's go ahead and find the equation of those asymptotes. So we've got y minus the y value here, so y minus negative 1, so really y plus 1, and we're just putting this into point slope form, is equal to plus or minus, because there's two asymptotes, one with a positive slope, one with a negative, is equal to the rising value, so that's going to be 5. It's the square root of the denominator on the y term, so plus or minus 5, and then it's running 6. That's the square root of the denominator of the x term. So plus or minus 5 6 times x minus the x value of the center, and so x minus 2. There's our equations for the asymptotes. You could write that out as y plus 1 equals 5 6 times x minus 2, and y plus 1 equals negative 5 6 times x minus 2, but there's two different equations wrapped up with a plus or minus right there. All right, and now our foci. Let's find our foci here. And so we've got to our two shorter pieces, the distance from the center to the vertex and the distance from the center to the would-be vertex. That's our a squared plus b squared. They're equal to the distance from the center to the foci, wherever they are going to be located. All right, so we've got a squared being 36 plus b squared being 25 is equal to c squared. That's, what is that? So 61 is equal to c squared, meaning c is equal to the square root of 61. Now that number is somewhere greater than 7, but not quite to 8. And so from the center, we're going to count out 8 to the left, or sorry, just a little more than 7 to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a little more. Actually, probably shouldn't use blue. It's not part of the hyperbola. And then out 7, but not quite 8 to the right as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a little more. There's our foci. And so where are those located at? Well, we've got, that's not going to be enough room for us. We've got the center x value, so 2 minus the square root of 61. That is a coordinate, or just an x value right there, comma -1, that's the y value, and 2 plus the square root of 61, comma -1. And again, this is an actual, just a value, it's a single number, it's just irrational. We can't actually add 2 plus the square root of 61. You can get a close approximation with using your calculator, but it's 2 plus something a little more than 7, so it's going to be 9 point something over here, and then 2 minus something a little more than 7, so negative, let's see, be -5 and a little more negative, so -5 point something going over that way. And let's see, all we have left now is sketching it. So from the vertex, heading up towards the asymptotes, never quite getting there. And same thing over here, getting closer and closer and closer and closer, but never touching. On the other side, getting closer and closer and closer, but never touching, and same thing there as well. All right, hope that helps.